Welcome back to the channel, guys. We've teamed up with Haiboxing for another install video with the HBX Protector. Today we're going to be doing upgraded drive shafts. So we've got the front drive shafts, which is part 12604RE1, and the rear drive shafts, which is part number 12604RE2. These are available on Amazon. I will drop the links in the description if you're interested in doing this upgrade for yourself. So we'll start with the fronts here. I'm going to open them up here and see what we've got inside. Get my little knife out here, wherever that is. There it is. Open it up here. I'm going to dump. So we got two drive shafts. We've got two nuts and two pins. Okay, so the first thing we've got to do is we've got to remove the front wheel here. So we'll take that off. And see what we're up against. Alright, so we've got to figure out how to get this all apart now and get this drive shaft out of here. So the way I do it, and there may be another way of doing it, but here's how I do it, and the easiest way for me is I just take the bottom retainer screw right here on the lower control arm, and let's just undo that. And then I just put a little pressure on and I snap that out. Snap that little ball socket out of there. And what that allows, if we can get a shot here, this allows us to slip that out there, and you can push the whole assembly right through. And just take a little screwdriver like that and push it right out. Bearing does stay in there, like so. And there, that one's out, and there's your replacement. So if we push this through this way, like so, and then kind of just manipulate the drive shaft and line it up with the cup there, like so, and that's in. Now I believe the next thing they want us to do is they have a hole right here. We have these little pins. I believe that pin needs to go in there to hold that into place. And you should be able just to push that in by hand, no problem. Like so. Now I'll flip it back upside down. We'll pop that socket back into place and put that retainer screw back in. Alright, so now we've got this drive shaft in, everything's looking good. I'll take the insert that's in the back of the wheel, we'll slip it over top, and remember it fits over top of this pin that we put in. So we'll line it up over top of that. We'll take our wheel, we'll place it over. That, we'll take one of the nuts that came with it. It's a nylock nut, so we won't have to worry about it backing off once it's on. We should be good. 7mm socket seems to be the right fit, and we'll just snug it up, and that's that. Front's done, guys. Okay, let's move on to the back. We'll do the other front here at the end. We'll do a back one now. So let's take the parts for the other front side and we're going to put them aside, and let's see what's in the back here. Let's see. Alright, so we've got two nuts again. We've got the two same, looks like retainer pins. And our shafts. Alright, so we'll start by pulling that back wheel off, and let's see what we're up against. So we've got the same insert that we're going to be holding on to there. Alright, so once we have the wheel off here, I think what we're going to do is we're going to remove that pin on the bottom here. Those pins are pretty easily to remove. Typically they go in from the back to the front. And if we were to take a small Allen key, come on there, just like that, and just push that pin out, that should release everything there. There we go. Right away the shaft is out that easily. And now we just got to get this part out. Well, that's not too bad. There we go. We can go right away by putting the new end in and the retainer pin. Like that. I guess the retainer pin, let's wait till after. It's pretty loose. We'll stick the new shaft in. We'll line it up in there, like so. And we'll stick that pin back in. And that pin shouldn't be too hard to get back in. I can do it by hand almost. You can also just take a pair of pliers just to get it in the rest of the way. There we go. That's in. We can stick that little pin in here, this little retainer pin. Okay, we've got that little retainer pin there. We'll line up the insert over top of it. Put the wheel over top of that. Take one of our nuts here, thread it on by hand. 7mm socket will do the trick. And that's the rear. Not too hard. So we'll just finish it off here. We'll do the front and the back on the other side, and that'll be it for this one. So I'm just going to get right into that and we'll get her done. We'll start with the back. It wasn't actually too difficult to put that in at all. So what do? We remove that pin. That. Okay, we'll take the drive shaft out quite easily. Push the new one in. New shaft in there, we lined it up. So next step, put the pin back into where it came from. Pin is back. Okay. Retaining pin. Little wheel insert there. Stick the wheel over top. We'll thread that on again. 7mm. And that's that. Pretty easy. Back is done. Let's do the last front one here, and we'll be done this upgrade. Fantastic. So the front one, if you recall, I just took this bottom screw out. That little retainer on the bottom there. Then we just kind of separated that ball joint like that. And from there we were able to basically pull the drive shaft out from there. And then we just need to push it through from this end. Like that. We'll take that bearing off there and we'll just stick it back in the back here. That's it for that drive shaft. Then what I do is I just kind of stick the new one in, and then we manipulate it up and around and into where it goes into the cup over here. Like that. We get that socket back into place there. You can flip it back over. Put that retaining screw back on. There we go. Now we're ready to put the wheel on. Okay, so we're going to slide that pin through now. Like so. Take our little insert here from the back of the wheel. Line that up. After that, we'll take our wheel, stick it over top. There we go. Get that nut started. Take your socket. Alright guys, that's it for the HBX Protector upgraded drive shaft install on the front and the rear. Very easy upgrade to do yourself. Like I said, the links are in the description for the parts. Big thank you to Haiboxing for teaming up with me on this one. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments section. I'll be happy to help you. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure you give this video a like. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And remember, don't be a stranger. We'll see you on the next one. See ya.